Welcome to General Tax Information for Athletes, Part 2, Record Keeping and Accounting. Presented by Pro Bono Students Canada, the University of Calgary Faculty of Law, and the Canadian Sports Centre of Calgary. The records an individual is required to keep are as follows. Records of income, such as pay stubs, employment contracts, and T4 slips, and supporting documents, such as receipts, tax slips, prior tax returns, and notices of assessment. These documents are pretty straightforward. Essentially, anything that you can claim as an expense, you want to keep documentation capable of proving it. This means receipts from any meals or travel receipts and onwards. In terms of being an athlete, many sponsorships could conceivably not provide a T4 slip. In this case, you would want to keep any documentation pertaining to the sponsorship contract. If keeping this documentation seems overly burdensome, here is why the burden is worthwhile taking on. If you are unable to provide the supporting documentation the CRA requires, you may be subject to having the various deductions, credits, and expenses denied, and you will be responsible for any resulting taxes owing and any resulting penalties and interest. The CRA imposes a strict policy of recouping any monies claimed, but not substantiated. In terms of the duration an individual is responsible for keeping their tax records, 6 years is the magic number. 6 years with the countdown beginning from the date the tax return was originally filed. Moving on, here are the three most important and influential words in accounting. An asset. This is something that you own, exclusive of any loan or outstanding debt. This could be the old beater that your mom and dad gave you when you decided to head to school, or the new car that you paid off by working while at school. A liability. This is something you owe money on. So it's that same car that you just haven't finished paying off, or it's the student loan that allows you to go to school in the first place. Equity. This is a hypothetical analysis of your personal wealth after all an individual's liabilities are paid. So this is essentially your assets versus your liabilities. It can be negative or positive. Employing a tax preparation company is extremely advantageous to those amateur and student athletes with more complicated tax returns than normal, and can be money well spent. The more simple a return is, the easier it is for an individual to file on their own for free, or for a very limited expense. But if the circumstances of an individual's taxes are slightly more complicated, as an example, this could be because of participation in amateur athlete trusts, then a professional tax preparer may be needed in order to effectively do the work required to file an income tax return. However, the point of this project is to aid amateur and student athletes in doing their own taxes in the most efficient and cost-effective manner possible. There are costs, sometimes large ones, associated with using accounting professionals, and it is hoped following the guidelines set out in this presentation, as well as in its 3 accompanying exhibitions, will give individuals the ability to do one's taxes on their own without having to consult accounting professionals. Once again though, this is highly dependent upon the level of complexity of an individual's tax situation. Accountants are pros. They are educated and trained to understand financial terminology, laws, and strategies. It's what they do. From general to certified and management accountants, accountants are trained and qualified to deliver accounting advice and guidance. They also may handle such things as auditing and tax preparation, and are there to ensure that financial strategies are implemented properly. Due to the professional nature of accountants, they'll save you time, and typically you'll have the assurance that your taxes have been filed correctly and in the best possible manner. Because let's face it, filing taxes can take time and it can be complicated. An accountant resolves these 2 issues for a cost. For more information, please check out Part 3 of our General Tax Information for Athletes. Thank you.